Hey guys, this is a Homestead Fourwind. These are actually a pretty common childhood fan of mine. Um, Homesteads were as common around here as casablancas, and so I saw tons of universals, winds, comfort flows, and Fourwinds during my childhood. Same way I saw tons of deltas, Panamas, Lady Deltas, and Saturns, I guess would be the closest equivalent to the wind that I saw a lot of as a kid. Never always knew what these were because, these were different with the Casablanca style arms and the full-size blade, so these used to confuse me a little. But there was a restaurant called the Copper Top Cafe that had a ton in this exact configuration, same light and everything. There was a store downtown that had four like this in antique brass with schoolhouse globes on long spiral down rods, and then one in the back in polished brass with a 4-light kit, multiple light kit. I think it had like a K4. That'd be the same kind of light kit, but it had the comfort flow irons. Is that Whisper fan? But the 6-blade irons, but only had 4 blades. So yeah, I've just seen different variations of these my whole childhood. This is the first one I've ever opened up that had a transformer inside instead of a capacitors for the speeds. Got a Emerson motor. These, I think, are the original light bulbs. They look really old. So, let's see what the wattage is of those. 226. So that's what. Let's go through the solid state control. How many watts is it? So it's probably 60 watt bulbs, and it's just a little low. So I'm debating selling or trading this. On the one hand, as a childhood fan, and I love these. On the other hand, it's very unlikely I would ever find a place to hang a 4-blade polished brass one, because it's not a finish I care for, and I'd rather hang a 6-blade one if I'm going to hang one. So if anybody's interested in it, and plus if I'm going to do a 4-blade, I'd much rather do a Whisper fan 2 with the S vents. I think those are just so cool. So if you're interested in this, give me a heads up and just let me know, and I'll think about it. I'll consider it. Bearings were a little stiff, so they're working their way loose, but they're silent. And the transformer is silent. Normally transformer-based fans are pretty loud. 14 watts. Low power factor. Low. Medium low. Medium high. Still really low power factor. High. Reverse it. Well, interesting, they're 52 watt bulbs. That explains my confusion. That one's a 60. That one's a 60. That one's a 60, and this one's 52, but they're all General Electric. Yeah, spin down still pretty quick. It needs those bearings got to work in a little bit. Just by the door, so I don't forget it. Snow's really coming down outside. Getting a little faint bearing noise in reverse that I wasn't getting in forward. Nothing to keep it from being like bedroom quiet. Like I wouldn't notice unless I put my ear right up against it. Also wobbles in reverse and doesn't wobble in forward. Always interesting when there's a discrepancy. One. I'm guessing with those stiff bearings it's going to start at 4 or 5. 2, 3, 4. I budged. 5. A Homestead wall control, at least the ones I've tested, would be 5, 10, 15. So these are different at Casablanca that they do not have a cast motor housing. Switch housing is cast, and the K4S and the Casablanca K4S are interchangeable. 6. The down rods are also interchangeable with Casablanca, but the balls are not. These use a smaller ball. You put one of these in a hang tree and it might fall through. 7. 8. 9. 10. So this would be low with a Homestead wall control, and it's wobbling a little bit, which it wasn't on the factory speeds. That's interesting. 11. Looking at this, I like it a lot. I wish I had a place to hang it. It would go good in a very traditional kitchen, like, you know, still got wallpaper on the walls, or at least like around the edging at the top. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17, 18, 19, 20. How much of a gap do you have if you want to use it on 8, 12, 20? Oh, still a gap. 21. 22, 23, 24, 25. I think we're over. Yep, 25 is over. Looks like it's going to be silent with the solid state, which is always nice. It's always good to have it. Whoa! Tripped over the wire. So just FYI, if I do decide to sell or trade this, I'm going to take the glass off of it, and I probably won't keep the glass with it, so if somebody wants it with the glass, I'll have to speak now before it gets separated, never to be found again. Four stiff bearings. So when I got this, the way that it was wired, the way that it was set up, it was clear they had only ever used it on medium with the light on, medium high. It hadn't been used on low or medium low or high in years because those settings on the switch were all oxidized. and the light was just hardwired. It wasn't wired to the pull chain, and the hot from the light, the blue and the black, were both tied together. Eighth of a turn. Eighth of a turn. Eighth of a turn. Absolutely silent. Not a peep from it. Okay, I can't remember if we did 0 to high, so we'll do 0 to high one last time. .32 looks like as high as it goes. Of course, we add the light. You know, I like playing around with dimmers. It's a second to stop. I don't feel like getting back up. And stop. And stop. So I always like to see when we have a big incandescent load like this. Okay, so the lights come on first before the fan starts spinning. Because again, it was very common in a lot of restaurants to just have the fans and lights all wired to the same dimmer switches. And so this is how they are, you know, during dining. Might be like this, or maybe a little brighter, but not much. And at the end of the night, the customers are gone. It's time to clean up. Bam. Okay, thanks for watching.